Hi everyone, a slightly off-topic video today, but I wanted to make it a long time ago, honestly. And when you are an aquarium hobbyist, I think you inevitably keep life plants, start keeping them, or maybe you have kept them before. Well, the plants, they just take us closer to the nature, and they really brighten up the room, especially when you live in an urban area, because it's kind of like one of those only things that can provide with some nature, feel at home. So let's just come to this corner. This is my favorite plant. This is called Tradescanzi. So a creeping plant, it tends to be leggy, especially when it grows, so it goes all the way down like that. And in order to prevent it from that, sometimes you have to pinch the plant, which means to trim them, to trim the tops straight at the bottom of one leaf, let's say here, in order to make it bushier. So the same as in aquarium, technically. I like this plant. It doesn't last very long, like for maybe 1 year, maybe 1 year and a half maximum, but it's really impressive. It has this kind of burgundy probably color on it, or maybe like dark, I don't know, dark brown or dark violet, I don't know. And you can propagate them easily, so when you cut the stems, you can put them in water and propagate them, like as soon as they start producing some roots, you can replant them later and you will have a new plant growing from a young stem. So the lifespan of this plant is relatively not a problem for for the hobbyist, especially if you cut and propagate the stems. This is really helpful in it. So nice plant, very decorative, I'd say. So the next is Anthurium. These are the flowers. They last for a long time. Like this one is 6 months old, so they stay up for a long time. And I like the structure of the leaves. They have this kind of brighter green tint. The soil, by the way, is a ready-made mix sold in stores, specialized stores. Nice, has nutrients, all that. The next plant is also my favorite because it grows really well, likes water. This is peace lily or Spatophyllum. Well, there are 3 bushes. You can actually divide them and plant them separately. I will do it in a month or so, I think. This plant loves water, frequent watering, but again, the water shouldn't stay in the pot for a long time because the water gets muddy and the plant starts rotting. And when it starts rotting, the leaves die out, the roots die out, so the plant may actually die because of that. The next is, in my school years, I was a fan of succulents. So this is a barrel cactus. It can flower, but in order to make it flower, you need to make a special photo period. So the balance between the light it receives and the nighttime should be perfect in order to make it flower. So it didn't flower. Well, it grows relatively slowly, so you do not notice a lot of growth on it, and it usually grows wider, I noticed, rather than taller. So the next is, this plant is called Rio, a relatively easy plant, and this one is relative to Tradescanzi. So I like the structure of the leaves. The leaves are kind of elastic, rather firm. They have this green coloration and these accents of almost magenta color on it. Really interesting and unusual for the easy plant. So it's in a very big pot, so I have to replant it. This is slightly heavy to carry. So, and some of the leaves died off because the plant has been through replanting, maybe overwatering, I have no idea. So it's in the process of adaptation. Well, the main problem with the life plants, house plants, terrestrial plants if you will, is that they suffer from overwatering a lot, and you need to find the balance, how to make it be happy in terms of watering. So if you overwater them, they will rot. If you underwater them, they will also suffer. Let's say this plant, you see there is some kind of, you know, sign of previous overwatering or underwatering. So you know, it's kind of like art of watering the live house plants, if you will. So well, and I also have some other plants here on the rack. So this is called Chlorophytum. This is an epiphyte plant in nature. It means that it doesn't actually stay in the soil. It grows on other trees, but it's not parasitic plant. So, you know, it gets nutrients from the root system a little and also from the leaves. Well, it has these tiny white flowers. It spreads shoots, and on these shoots there are young, you know, plants like that. And also the flowers, tiny white, really nice flowers. But so far this one didn't flower yet. This is one variety and this is another variety. You see, they are like inverted colors. This is white green, this is green white, like vice versa. Well, the main color here is white, and this green is the main color on this plant. This is the baby plant, by the way, from another plant that we have in the loggia. So it was smaller and it grew. I like this because they adapt very, like, you know, nicely in any environment. They do not require just a lot of light, and they grow fast, and you know, they do not require a lot of care, to be honest, and even a lot of soil. So you can plant them in the mix with gravel or something, or maybe some kind of other ingredients, and it will benefit from that because, you know, it's an epiphyte. Epiphyte plants are always like easier than the plants that are heavy root feeders, just like in aquarium. So this is a kind of collection we have here in my room, and we have some other plants as well in another room. Maybe I will show them later. So that's it. And guys, if you are interested, these plants are all, most of them are relatively cheap, not expensive at all, especially if we talk about Tradescanzi, Rio or Chlorophytums. They are like not expensive at all, and this access to the plants, it makes it really attractive in terms of getting close to nature without investing a lot. So, you know, if you consider to keep some, I will suggest you to keep, because, you know, it's kind of fun. Well, the only thing that, you know, we have to master is watering, and that's pretty much it. I also add some fertilizer, you know, every other month, probably, not so much. Fertilization, you know, usually goes for this plant, and others do not even require a lot, like, you know, like this Rio or this Tradescanzi. They do not require a lot of fertilizing, or these plants, you know, they grow, they receive all the nutrients and good things from the light, from, you know, from the air, you know, like carbon dioxide in the air, you know. So well, that's it. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Then take care and stay safe.